Burt Wonderstone is the biggest magician in Vegas. When we meet him, and magic saved his poor little lonely life when he was a child. And he and his partner Anton, his friend Anton from childhood, become the biggest magicians in Vegas. Burt has, when we meet him in the story, lost touch with why he fell in love with magic and what magic did for him. And so he is, he's a slave to his ego, his vanity, his desires. He's really just gone whole hog into his show business superstardom. And he falls from grace. He really plays the peacock that is Burt Wonderstone. And he's kind of foppish and foolish and in love with the sound of his own voice. You know, if someone would say to him, "I can't tell you how much I like you," he would say, "Oh, please try. Please give me." And so he's so in love with himself. And Steve plays it so endearingly in a weird way, because Steve is so attractive and likable that despite his ego, you still fall for Burt Wonderstone. You still like him. He's a very funny guy. He also is a very, very sweet-natured guy. People don't know he was a fireman years ago before his acting career took off. And he is a great, compassionate, human, funny dude with a sweet, sweet heart. And that's what we needed for Anton. This is kind of a return to form for Jim Carrey. The Jim Carrey we did fall in love with, the physical comedy Jim Carrey. The interesting thing about this character is he has this other side. Jim Carrey's actually the villain of the piece. And we haven't seen Jim Carrey really play a villain before. So he's absolutely winning in terms of a comedy sense and what this character is, way over the top, very physical, very broad. And yet at the same time, he's got his hidden agenda. His character is very ambitious and he wants to take Burt's spot. So he becomes the villain of the piece. So it's interesting to see that comic Jim Carrey that we've always known, but then see this other side of him underneath. And so I think his fans are going to be really pleased, and I think they're going to see a whole new Jim Carrey as well. Having David Copperfield's blessing was like the guardian spirit. You know, it meant that our magic would be legitimate, and that we had the master's blessing. He said he would give us anything we wanted, anything from his warehouse, his workshop, any tips, any pointers. He didn't want to be paid or anything. He just wanted to help. He wanted to be part of it. And we had this trick, a hangman trick, which involved a body switch between Burt and Anton, and I wanted to shoot it without a cut. So that, you know, you can do so many tricks with CGI and everybody knows that, but we want to do one thing where the camera never cut and our guys actually did the trick. So I asked David Copperfield if he would design this trick for us, told him the story within the trick, and not only did he design it, he sent us a videotape of his people working it out with a videotape of behind the scenes of how it gets to be done. I mean, he went all out, and it's a brilliant trick, and it's in the movie, and there's never a cut from the start of the trick to the end of the trick, and you see the body switch, and you don't know how it's done. So that's David Copperfield, and he's in the movie playing himself and playing a couple of other people, which we're not, again, how did they do that? People aren't going to know. See if they can guess. It is a redemption story. It's about a guy who comes to his senses and learns what's valuable. So I hope that people take that away as well.